Hi there. Welcome to Abyssia Tarot Readings. Um, so this is gonna be the Nakshatra Tarot read, and we are going to be starting with Ashwini Nakshatra. So, I just I'll be so if you have Ashwini Moon, Ashwini Rising, or Ashwini Sun, I would say most likely check your Ashwini Moon placement, or maybe if you have an Atma Karaka, like if the planet of your highest degree is somewhere in your Ashwini Nakshatra, kindly check this out. Maybe this tarot reading might help you in some way. Yeah. So that's it. Let's start the reading, right? Okay. Before I came into this reading, I was very much drawn towards Ganeshji. Like there is a very beautiful thing about Ganeshji, and honestly, Ganeshji is also considered as the like one of the devtas or kul devtas of the Ashwini Nakshatra. So I was getting this energy, like in the start of the reading, like Ganeshji is the Ekdanta, right? He broke his tooth to keep on writing the Mahabharata, right? Like he sacrificed a part of himself to give, like he gave a part of himself to his creations. And I feel like with that coming through as the first message for my tarot reads, for my Nakshatra tarot reads, I think I feel like I'm really honored to be a part of this, cosmic relevance, whatever is going to happen with this read, however this read is going to be taken, resonated, or, reinterpreted, passed on, because it's not just my energy that is in here, but it's yours as well. So yeah, thank you so much for being in here. Om Krim Kalikai Namaha. And with that, I'll start the first card. Death card. Feels very personal to me in some ways, Ashwini natives. I feel like with the death card in here, especially with the month of, I think in the month of June, we are having Saturn might, I think it happened in the month of June itself, right? We have Saturn started going towards Ashwini Nakshatra. So yeah, for people who have Moon in Ashwini Nakshatra, yes, like yeah, it's a time for Sadesati, right? Like Sadesati is at its peak. The death card in here and the Eight of Swords in the back of the deck. I feel like there is an energy of things transforming, and I feel like it's for the better, because, or for the worse, like it depends on how you are going to make use of it. With the death energy in here, I feel like something major, there is a major shift that is happening. Also with the Eight of Swords in here, it reminds me of Sadesati, right? And the Queen of Cups is in here. So it's almost like when you are in the first phase of Sadesati, you are often in the phase of, like dreamy energies. So it's almost like taking yourself out of those psychological bounds that have been weighing on you for so long. And I'm also getting an energy of like moving on to a new chapter in life or something like that. So let's see. Om Ganpate Namaha. Om Krim Kalikai Namaha. What else is there? Can I get a 6-card spread for Ashwini Nakshatra natives? Please and thank you. 3 of Wands in reverse. Could be some sort of investments that aren't going through properly, or there is something like, yeah, that's what I'm getting, like not seeing an investment return. Like I'm getting like you might not like the offers that are being presented to you as of now. Maybe because of the fact that I think there was a huge transformation that took place that made you realize that the things that you were investing your time or your energy on weren't moving, weren't giving you as great of a result as you would have wanted it to give to you. Now, Ashwini natives are known to be really fast paced. So, I don't know, there is a lot of dreamy energy that is coming in your read right now, as of now. And as I was saying, right, if you have an Ashwini moon, you will realize that Saturn is in its peak. You will have a peak Sadhisati movement as of now, and maybe for the past years you were having a lot of the Sadhisati 12th house movements, or kind of like the dreamy energy of Saturn, where you were like basically figuring out the illusions, and you were looking into different options that you had, looking into your dreams, there's something like looking into your psychology coming through as well. I'm getting reminiscing past. Oh damn, these cards are coming together again and again. Okay. Yeah, it's like being in some sort of illusion, or letting your mind believe in certain identities or certain stuff about yourself. I guess you're moving out of that energy and seeing things for clarity, because the Seven of Cups being clarified by the Sun in here gives me an energy that finally you're able to see things for as they are, or you're able to see wait a second. Lord, my light. Wait a second. I think it's good. I feel like you guys are like able to see through it's like the Sun is telling me that you're finally able to see through the masquerade. Being able to see through the masquerade, through the illusions. 10 of Cups in reverse in here, so gives me an energy of I think I'm also getting selling yourself short. So like not paying, there is something like maybe you are kind of realizing that the dreams that you were meant for, or the dreams that you had in your mind, you were kind of selling yourself short for those dreams. It's like sort of realizing that I deserve way more than this, but the only thing that I've been doing is thinking about how much I deserve rather than taking action. I'm also sort of getting like waiting for something miraculous to happen so that people start giving you your worth, or people start treating you in the way that you deserve to be treated. An energy of actions is coming through for you, Ashwini Nakshatras. I feel like this is very prominent in some ways, because I feel like even with the symbolism in this card, there's a white horse in here, and the white horse turns into a black horse as it moves through the portal of death, right? I kind of feel as if you guys are finally moving on towards your dream life, or towards the life that you had dreamt of for such a long time, after being in this stalemate position, or after being in this position of not being able to receive the gifts or receive the results of the investments that you had put your life onto. I feel like suddenly it's like things are seeming far more clear now as of now, I guess. Can I get the last two cards for Ashwini Nakshatras? Please and thank you. I don't know why I'm getting Ashwini Nakshatra, Moola Nakshatra natives. So someone could have Ketu placements, a lot of Ketu placements like Ashwini, Magha Nakshatra, Moola Nakshatra in their chart or something like that. the Six of Pentacles upright, and yeah, there is something like I don't know, with the Mula Nakshatra coming through in here, it just gives, I don't know why I'm getting, reminds me of the fact that Mula is the last phase of the Ketu Nakshatra, right? Mula is when the last phase of the nakshatra starts. Mula, Purvashada, Uttarashada, like, yeah, so there's something around the lines of I don't know, I'm getting, maybe you might get something, a good advice from some Mula natives, or you'll get advice from somebody who is way more older than you. I'm also getting that this person, there could be a person who could be younger than you, but they might have an advice, but who is wise beyond their years. So there is something of an energy like that, like someone might come in, during a stalemate, or during a position or a time in your life when you are looking at things from a different perspective, and I feel like they will come out to help you guys, or to steer your vehicle in a proper way, or it's almost like they'll help you direct. They'll help you direct. They'll help you to direct towards a new change in life. The Three of Swords in here, and the Moon in reverse. Yeah, I think this could be a phase of your life where you are discovering your own inner demons that come, like, this is the Moon card in reverse, is like discovering your own inner demons that come out of your being or your soul due to the I don't know, I'm getting ripple effect as well. So it's almost like you may not realize how your emotional sadness or how much your emotional density is actually hurting you in real time. And with the Three of Swords in here and the Moon in reverse in here, I just get an energy that it's like finally you will be able to realize it, or someone will help you or make you realize the fact that the sorrow and the sadness that you went through, oftentimes if you leave it unresolved, it kind of trickles down into your real life as well, if you don't process it properly. So there is something around the lines of that, like you not being able to process your emotions properly, you not able to properly see things in a proper stance or in a proper point of view. And now that, yeah, there is something like that is the only reason that you move forward now. That is the only reason that you, I don't know, I'm getting destiny defining destiny or something like that is coming through. Yeah, that's what I'm getting, like allowing that sadness to decide what your destiny is, or defining that destiny for yourself, as if you do not deserve. Yeah, I don't know, I'm getting maybe it's because you guys are Ashwini Nakshatra natives, right? But I'm getting like a spark of, and like I'm getting short fuse, like I'm getting short circuit energy right now. So almost like I feel like you do not, I think with the fact that this is a Ketu Nakshatra, right? I feel like you do not realize how much, how easily you end up, how sparks, like how short circuits happen, right? You kind of like, it's almost gives me like you were sad about something, there was a spark of energy that generated because of it, and it started a chain of events that you yourself did not realize was set into motion, because you yourself did not realize how that little spark of energy within, how like it's kind of like it's sort of like there is something like, if you don't, it's like there is something like a Ketuvian aspect about it, right? Like I don't know why I'm getting the name Datta could be significant, but I think maybe you're not realizing how this chain of events set fire or set motion into something new. I'm also getting someone could have Pisces nakshatra in their placement, but yeah, someone has not realized that yet about themselves. Someone could have dark skin color could be significant, I don't know. But yeah, this is the thing about, like, I feel like maybe you guys have not yet realized how your sadness ends up opening a chain of events that later on becomes harder for you to, that later on sets a chain of events that becomes harder for you to control or navigate, because it just seems like you did not, yeah, there is something like a paralyzing action happening in here with the hangman in here as well. Like, you are not realizing how your own sadness paralyzes you, or how it subconsciously like stops you from going forward towards the future. And that's why I get an energy that this Mula native, or this Mula natives are often people. Mula is like the combination of Jupiter, Sagittarius, and Ketu, right? So this is like a guru that is guiding the Ketu nakshatra to move in a to bring things to a natural order. And I feel like when you are in the first sign, Aries, that is the Mars zodiac and the Ketu placement, what happens in this placement is that you end up setting up a chain of events that you do not realize, or you do not know how to control this chain of events. The Mula Nakshatra native right here gives me that this is somebody who knows how to navigate the fire. They know how to navigate our subconscious emotions to, fulfill a certain kind of task. In Mula Nakshatra, what happens is that Mula goes into the deep. They go to the roots of the thing and they try to uproot it, right? But in yeah, I'm also getting Pisces nakshatra, so someone could have a specific Pisces placement in here. But in Ashwini nakshatra, what happens is that you go towards the things that you feel a short spark towards something, and you end up doing something, but you don't even realize that you set a chain of events. It's almost like subconsciously setting a chain of events that you do not know that you set a chain. Like, it's like not knowing that not knowing that you actually ended up sparking a fire, not knowing how to cut the thing at its root, because Ketu in its natural form is somebody who detaches people from the illusions, right? So it's almost like Mula has a very good idea of how to detach people, or how to cut things at its root to like detach people from illusions. But when it comes to your nakshatra, I guess you guys are very impulsive, and you maybe there's a reason why this is coming through. It's kind of like this heartbreak energy gives me, like maybe you did not realize that your subconscious was like causing you to like self-sabotage, or your subconscious was causing a fire without you understanding that you were actually causing the fire. And that is why I feel like this Mula native is coming through, who can help you through this process, or through this problem of seeing things in one way. And like I get an energy where maybe you see things in one way, in one perspective, and I think there is a far more practical way of doing things. And I think this is why it is necessary for you to sort of take an advice from whoever this person is, or take a help that is coming towards your way. I'm getting this is a principle, whoever this principle is, or I also get that whatever principles this person works on, whatever their ethics are, make sure to read it well, or make sure to read through the fine print or the fine paper, because they will legit help you, or they will literally help you move forward in life without you even asking them to do that. Because I feel like there is something like a Ketuvian energy about this person as well. Like, they also understand, or they also realize the idea of detaching yourself from the illusions, right? But I feel like this person is far more practical than you are when it comes to detaching from stuff, and they will help you a lot more than you can help yourself in this matter, right? Yeah, I don't know why I'm gaining a pretense. So almost like how there are times when we'll say that I don't know why I'm getting Mercury nakshatra as well, but the thing about Jupiterian nakshatra is that it's a very ideal nakshatra. So whenever Jupiter, that is a Sagittarius zodiac with the Mula Nakshatra, that is a Ketu placement, right? Whenever these two energies come together, what happens is that a person, a Mula native, has a very like they have an idea, like they have an ideal, they have a wisdom, or they have an idealistic idea on how to detach away from the system, rather than doing it in a very subconscious way, in the way where it happens in Ashwini, right? These people have a, I feel like whoever this Mula native is, or whoever these wise people are, they have an idea on how to do stuff. You got to learn to take their advice, or you need to see through their, yeah, there is something like pay attention to the words that they speak, or pay attention to the things that is written on the paper or on the contract, because there is something hidden that you will get to know, which these people will not hint at you, but there is like a feeling, there is like a certain type of camaraderie that you might feel with these people, and they might actually help you tap into that potential, or tap into that energy in some sort of way, right? Let's get advice cards for my Ashwini Nakshatras. Wait a second, let me. Okay, so let's take some advice cards for you guys, because I feel like you might actually, like, there is something that. Let's get the last two cards for Ashwini Nakshatra natives. Can I please get, oh, okay, oh, we have two cards. I'm free to express my true self. I'm capable of achieving anything I set my mind to. So let's see what's in the back of this. How do you express yourself authentically? Are there areas in your life where you hold back? When was the last time you truly rested? How can you prioritize your self-care today? Actually, both of them came out in reverse, and I put them in upright position. So, I don't know, there is something like, yeah, I think they need to come down in the reverse position only. Yeah. How do you express yourself authentically, and are there any areas in your life where you hold back? I think there is something, that's what I'm saying, right, Ashwini? You guys really need to like learn to hold back sometimes. It's like, just there are times when we feel something, and then the spark fuses, and then we say something, right? Taking time, like being wise to, like, it's like, it's not that what you're saying is not right. The thing is, you're just not saying it in the right moment. You're not using your mind, or you're not using your powers to detach away from this stuff, or do things authentically at the right place at the right time. And this is why that Mula Nakshatra is coming through, that wisdom is coming through, right? Also the Mula and the Seven of Pentacles, I get like maybe you'll get a lot of money. Mula, anyways, yeah, please be like very careful when you speak things, or when you put things into existence, when you wait, what is written in here? What was the last time you truly rested? When you how can you prioritize your self-care today? This came out in reverse as well. Yeah, something like, there is something like, I think this is a very self-preserving energy that is coming through from you guys right now. Maybe you tried to protect yourself from something, maybe you are trying to stand up to something, but the thing is, you need to know how to do it in a more wise manner than doing it in a sort of angry way, or in a short fused way. Like, don't just run towards, like, don't do it just because you felt it doesn't mean that you need to just jump on it. So kind of like, yeah, there is something like, there's also an energy of like, you might feel some things, you might not say it, or you might not take action on that stuff, but because people can read your face, or they can read your body expression or something like that, you might end up getting in trouble for some reason. So be very careful on how you express yourself, like, don't let the wrong people take advantage of your vulnerability or of your authenticity. Sometimes authenticity is good, but it's like, don't allow, but it's like, don't allow people to look at your vulnerabilities to the point and extent that they can take advantage of you, right? Yeah, there is something like when, like, there is something like, don't rest on your laurels, or don't rest on your um, don't rest on your laurels, or don't let that, I don't know, don't let that self preservation instinct get to your head. You might try to protect yourself, or you might try to like do some things with your own free will, all right? And I get the point that sometimes you would love to, but sometimes you would love to do that, but it's like, sometimes the things that look a lot more like self-care are not always self-care, Ashwini's. And this is something you need to realize. It's also like, just because something feels really pleasurable and something feels like, it's gonna make me feel good, doesn't means that it can make you feel good, all right? So it's very important for you to understand that some of the things that you, maybe there are some bad habits that you engage in, maybe there are some things that you do that makes you feel as if you are in a self, that makes you feel as if you are doing the right thing for yourself. Maybe it, kind of makes you feel pleasurable, or it makes you feel happy for some time, but that is not the happy thing. That is not how you detach from the system, right? That is not how you detach from the things that you don't like. So there is something, for example, if you do not like your friend group, for example, and you don't want to talk to them or engage with them, it doesn't, if that's the case, that's good, but to make, so you, what you do is that you cut off from all these friendships that you had with these bad people. And that does not means that you're gonna go and start drinking, or start getting addicted to different types of vices, because now that you've known that all these friends are bad friends, doesn't mean that everyone is a bad friend. That means that you need to go and find new friends. It doesn't mean that you're going to stay in your home, isolate yourself, and start drinking, or start scrolling phones, or start getting addicted to stuff that is not good for you. And I feel that's the energy that is coming through in here. You are free to express your true self, but kindly don't let people know a lot more about you than, to a point and extent that they can take advantage of you. And you're capable of achieving anything that you set your mind to, but don't over pleasurize yourself with things just because they feel good for a certain period of time. That's the kind of energy, that's what I'm getting in here today, all right? Like, you're capable of setting your mind, you're capable of achieving whatever you set your mind to, but don't let that, I'm getting, who are you? 'Cause you're not the girl I fell in love with, baby. I don't know, something, I don't know why that came through, but don't cope with things that are not really the things that you're like. Don't get addicted to vices. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting in here. I think you got it. I don't need to like say any more than this. Be kind to yourself. Be kind, and be kind to yourself. What is the one thing you love about yourself today? Wait a second. I think that's the thing. I think there is something that you are not realizing is actually like, it is not helping you evolve. It is not helping you grow. And I think you have to like get rid of that bad habit, or whatever it is. It might feel really good because maybe subconsciously it sparks and enthusiasm, or sparks an excitement within you. But in reality, a spark is a spark. It doesn't lead to fire every single time. And I feel that's why take that asset, or take that generous amount of wealth, or whatever is being given to you, to create a forest fire rather than creating a spark that leads to nowhere, right? That's what I'm getting here. Like, put your energy into things that brings you to a state of mindfulness or brings you closer to your goals, closer to your dreams. That is what you're learning. That's how you learn things. That's how you grow and evolve every single day. And that's kind of energy that I'm getting through in here. Don't fall into this, I don't know, there's something like, don't fall into this rabbit hole, or don't get stuck in one place pondering and thinking about stuff. Exactly. There is also an energy of, because you're Ashwini guys, right? Maybe you guys have a very hard time waiting for stuff, or like sitting. I think Hangman energy is a very big call out session for you right now, because I feel like for many Ashwini people, they are not able to like sit still, right? And it's like, yeah, sit still with this energy, sit still with the freedom, the generosity that is being given to you, and think how you are gonna freaking invest in it. Think properly and then invest in it. Don't play, don't sleep in this hangman position, and also don't be in such a hurry that you don't try to observe, that you like, learn to sit still, but don't become stuck in it, or don't become agitated by the stillness that comes towards you. So that's the kind of energy that I'm getting today for you guys. All right, have a great day. Bye bye.